Thank you. I'll use my final minute to respond to two concerns that are raised on the floor. On the need to consider local cultures in transferring technology, also the role played by technology in addressing the needs of persons with disabilities, etc. Like I will respond by putting forward an agenda that we have been pushing from the beginning of the discussion of the SDGs, which is to put in place a global technology assessment mechanism. And we actually put this, tie this with a push for a global technology facilitation mechanism, because we believe that in discussing technology transfer and access and deployment, you cannot go forward without evaluating the technologies that you are advancing. Like as you said, like it has technology such as your wheelchair has benefited you, and it would be good to see a world where all, including the poorest of the persons with disabilities, will have access to such technology. To also be good to see a world where wheelchairs are designed by countries, by companies in consultation with the person with disabilities as users of technology, as the end users, not just as consumers of these technologies. Because as we know, when companies or innovators design technologies, we are only a factor because we are consumers, we are end users. Rarely are we consulted on the design of the technology. And sad to say, it's a male-dominated world. So most of the technologies that we have now have men at the top of their head and designed by men. So that's a sad reality. And we have to address that. And we believe that having a mechanism, like a technology assessment mechanism, integrated into a global technology facilitation mechanism could address this, ensure that those who are affected, those who will be potentially affected, those who will benefit or will be adversely affected will both be part of the decision making, not just when the technology has started to cause problems, but while the technology is being designed. So it's not an illusion, it's not an imagination. There are parts of the world, many countries in Europe, for example, that does this. If countries like Germany, Denmark, Norway has technology assessment mechanism where citizens are consulted in the design, development, and deployment of their technologies, why can't we? Like, we have equal rights, enjoying supposedly the basic human rights that they enjoy, so why are we deprived of that capacity to assess technologies that end up in our table, that end up in our bodies, that end up in our daily lives? So it's a fundamental call that cannot be ignored. In the way forward in this last lap of the negotiations, for the post-2015 development agenda, we really are at a loss on where technology is ending up. You have FFD for financing, and you have all these regional discussions on monitoring and review, but technology is nowhere. We only have 4 points, recommendations that enjoyed the consensus of member states from the technology dialogues, but we don't really know where it's going. So we need that impetus to push member states to come up with something concrete. Rio Plus 20 did not fall short of that expectation. There were very good recommendations and aspirations from Rio Plus 20 that needs to that member states need to put into fruition in this process. So we believe that there's much more work to be done. We have full faith on very good enable negotiators from Brazil and India, from G77, and some progressive elements in other parts of the world. But it's really up to us, civil society and people of the world, to really push and give the impetus to have this in place. Thank you.